My parents had strong feelings against racial oppression, and they were certainly strong opponents of apartheid, but they weren't activists. The 11 of the original justices of the Constitutional Court, all of us came from such different backgrounds, but we had one very important common factor. All of us had been very much against the apartheid system, against oppression. So that was a common factor that linked us together. And also we were all very aware of this huge responsibility which had been put upon our shoulders to really be the guardians of a new and wonderful constitution. None of us had ever had any formal training in constitutional law because we had no constitution, and none of us had any formal training in human rights law. We learned on the job, we learned together. My period as a judge during the apartheid system was marked with a number of decisions that began to eat away aspects of the apartheid system, and particularly residential segregation in the Governor case. The government realized that I wasn't prepared to use the law dishonestly, but that I was certainly went out of my way to give it an interpretation that was consistent with equality and human rights and fair process to the extent possible. And there were many gaps in the apartheid laws which enabled some judges to make decisions that were able to, as I say, start breaking down the apartheid system. The courts were beginning to be used by the Legal Resources Centre, by Lawyers for Human Rights, by other organisations. They encouraged liberal judges to take appointments because they wanted sympathetic judges on the bench and not judges who would have a knee-jerk reaction against them. I've often been asked whether I didn't become despondent and pessimistic in the face of investigating these events. But really what prevented that were the wonderful people I was working with. Brave, courageous, committed, prepared to put their lives on the line in order to investigate. One of the things that also made a big difference was the media. I think it was very important for the Goldstone Commission in Yugoslavia and Rwanda that there were reports about what we were doing. So I think it was very important. One of the things I learned was to use the media to help build up transparency and give people confidence that what was happening was out there on the table. Everybody knew exactly what was happening all the time. Because if people in South Africa didn't have trust in the even-handedness of the Goldstone Commission, it would have failed. The law has to be moral. If the law is immoral, then it's a bad law. And this was, of course, the problem during the apartheid system and during the Nazi system and other autocratic systems, where you have immoral laws, and these immoral autocratic systems are ruled through the law. But if they're immoral, they don't have the right to be called the law. It's at that level that I think morality is crucially important. I've wondered for many years now what the world would be like if it had been led by women. I think we'd be a better world. I think women are more sympathetic, or more empathetic, or more protective. And I think it's a good thing that we're moving in the direction of gender equality. And I'm very proud when I see the number of women sitting in our parliament and sitting in our cabinet. We're living in a very difficult world, a very violent world, a world where a lot of people, too many millions of people, don't have enough food to eat, don't have a roof over their head. But I would tell young people that each one of them has the potential to be a leader. It's leadership that's important. Without good leaders, we're not going to succeed.